Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and most mind-boggling side of the interwebs. I'm your host, Ray McNeil. Coming up in the program today, a new Netflix deal screens movies both online and in theaters. Also, you could be wearing a beaver-inspired wetsuit in the future. And on today's What The? Before there were clowns, apparently there were dinosaurs. Yeah, I'll tell you more about those stories and many more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone, Netflix's first experiment with showing its original movies in theaters didn't extend very far, but you're about to get a much better chance at seeing those productions on a giant screen. Netflix recently signed a deal with iPic Entertainment that will screen movies in iPic's upscale theaters the same day that they're available online. The agreement covers just 10 titles to start and will be limited to theaters in New York City and Los Angeles, but it's a very good start. And iPix's posh dine-in experience should make it more engaging than firing up a projector at home. To no one's surprise, both companies stand to gain a lot from the pact. For Netflix, this demonstrates that it's making real movies, not just straight-to-DVD fluff. It even gives Netflix a chance at winning Oscars, since the Academy won't even consider you unless your movie screens for at least a week in New York and Los Angeles. And for iPic, this delivers a dash of some much-needed content. Beavers and sea otters lack the thick layer of blubber that insulates walruses and whales, and yet these small, semi-aquatic mammals can keep warm and even dry while diving underwater. This works by trapping warm pockets of air within their dense layers of fur, apparently. Inspired by these fuzzy swimmers, MIT engineers have now fabricated fur-like rubbery pelts and use them to identify a mechanism by which air is trapped between individual hairs when the pelts are plunged into liquid. The results, published in the journal Physical Review Fluids, provide a detailed mechanical understanding of how mammals such as beavers insulate themselves when diving underwater. The findings may also serve as a guide for designing bio-inspired materials, most notably warm, fuzzy wetsuits. Basically, they found that the weight of the water is pushing air in, but the viscosity of the liquid is resisting flow. One of the researchers explained it like this: the water sticks to these hairs, which prevents water from penetrating all the way to the base. They applied their equation to the experimental data and found that their predictions matched the data precisely. The researchers can now accurately predict how thick an air layer will surround a surface based on this equation, and of course eventually may give us warm, furry wetsuits. And in video game news, the Valve offices hold some of the most sought-after secrets in all of gaming. When will we see Portal 3? What's next for Steam VR? And is Half-Life 3 ever actually gonna happen? I still have my fingers crossed, by the way. But while we'll likely never get deep enough into their offices to answer those questions, we can now explore their lobby using an HTC Vive or Oculus Rift. That's thanks to a recent update to the studio's Destination app. That's a free piece of VR software that allows you to visit various locations with friends, either uploaded by Valve itself or by others online. While a host of improvements are included in the update, arguably the most exciting addition is the ability to explore a capture of the company's office. This isn't a quickly hashed together project either. Valve has gone the extra mile to make this tour a dream come true for many fans. The area is littered with Easter eggs from the studio's own games. Mouse pads sporting various logos sit next to Portal props and Left 4 Dead sculptures. If you look hard enough, you might even find the company's Steam controller lying around the office as well. If you want to take a shot at uploading your own destination to the app, well then Valve has uploaded a detailed guide of exactly how they did all of it. That's far from all that's new with the Destinations update. Valve has also added public lobbies so that you can meet new people online, and also use the lobby setting to build a new multiplayer game named Arcade Toss. No word on when Valve is actually going to release a full VR game, but this proves that they're definitely working on it. In this week's medical news, Nathan Copeland hasn't been able to move his legs or hands since he broke his neck in a car accident more than a decade ago. But now that scientists have implanted 4 chips in his brain, Copeland can control a robotic arm with his mind and feel when someone touches its fingers. This is the first time that a neural implant has allowed a person to feel touch through a prosthetic by directly stimulating his brain. It works great, Copeland says in a video released by the university. It feels like I was getting my fingers touched or pushed. This success, published in the journal Science Translational Medicine, could help scientists create prosthetics that approximate the way your body integrates touch and movement when we grip, grab, and squeeze objects. Here's a snippet of the video.
We make them active by electrical stimulation. And what we found was that when we do that, our subject, Nathan, feels a sensation that comes from that same region of his own hand. And so when we stimulate in his brain, he perceives a sense of touch that comes from his own hand, even though we're not actually touching his hand.
You can watch the full video at theverge.com. In a time of conflict, a group of unlikely heroes band together on a mission to steal the plans to the Death Star, the Empire's ultimate weapon of destruction. That's the premise for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is coming out December 15th. Here's a brand new trailer for the film.
Jin, whatever I do, I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
You want to get out of here?
Our rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire. We think you might be able to help us.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this? It appears he is critical to the development of a super weapon.
If my father built this thing, we need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
They are requesting a call sign.
It's, Rogue One.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope. They've no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The force is strong. Make 10 men feel like 100.
We'll take the next chance. And the next. You're all rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
And because it seems like every week there's a new update, in this week's Samsung news, the Note 7, which hit the market back in mid-August, was expected to solidify Samsung's lead in the mobile market after a strong showing with its Galaxy S7. The company had just begun to regain its swagger after stumbling the previous year, then came all of the battery problems that caused some units to overheat and catch fire. Samsung issued a global recall of the device last month, but then some of their replacement units started seeing the same problem. That caused them to finally issue a second recall this week and now permanently stop production of the Note 7. In addition to the recall, Samsung is now offering Note 7 owners $100 to exchange the device for another Samsung phone. And finally, on this week's What the? Before there were clowns, apparently there were dinosaurs. Police in Cocoa, Florida back in September picked up Anthony Burden after the misguided gamer wandered into a local park brandishing a rifle and wearing what was described as a dinosaur-type costume. Burden also had his face covered with a black ski mask and was clad in SWAT team-like tactical wear. Frightened onlookers in Riverside Park alerted authorities immediately. Officers tackled and disarmed Burden and then determined that his weapon was actually an airsoft rifle. Burden also had multiple magazines of ammunition, by the way. Burden said he was part of a gaming group and showed up in full gear because he wanted to participate in a flash mob. I can just picture his friends somewhere saying things like, "I can't believe he fell for it." On the flip side, just like the clowns, it could have been something much more sinister. I just don't understand the whole cosplay thing. From dinosaurs to clowns, all the way down to furries, all that pops into my head is what the? You've been watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think I should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your weekly tech update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax. Before you get on holiday on the island, contact Holiday Home Care. We can set up your residence or holiday rental, do the shopping for you, provide linen and towels, and make sure it's all ready by the time you get here, giving you more time to enjoy what Phillip Island has to offer. For more information, visit holidayhomecarepi.com or email holidayhomecarepi@gmail.com.